And good afternoon, and welcome to Wausau West Warrior High School Softball on Wausau Area Sports. I am Chad Holmes, our first broadcast as we are live from the Greenheck Turner Community Center at DC Everest High School, as DC Everest is hosting a softball invitational indoors. And today the Warriors are facing off first up against Neenah. The Neenah Rockets are the number 10 ranked team in the state in Division I in the preseason poll. And then at 5 o'clock, the Warriors will be taken on the Pulaski Red Raiders. So we'll have both these games right here on Wausau Area Sports. And our high school coverage here of the Wausau West softball team today is brought to you by the Wausau West Athletic Department and also Clover Belt Credit Union. And the Clover Belt Credit Union pregame show, Clover Belt Credit Union since 1936, local lenders lending local money, keeping our community strong. Now open in Mosinee. Visit CCU's new branch in the Bayman Professional Building across from the Mosinee Airport. I think we may be starting a little bit early as I already see the meeting at the home plate area getting started. So what we're going to do is take a quick timeout and then hear my pregame conversation with the head coach of the Wausau West Warriors. I'll be talking to Jamie Hughes. That's coming up next. This is Wausau West High School Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
That sweatshirt's Callie's, the blue one.
Wausau West Warrior High School Softball continues on Wausau Area Sports and the YouTube channel. As today, the Wausau West High School softball team opens up their season indoors, of course, here at Greenheck Turner Community Center at DC Everest, taking on Neenah in the first game. I am Chad Holmes, joined by head coach Jamie Hughes. And first of all, Coach, it's last year it was cold, I think, when we came here.
Yes.
It's cold here now, but it's got to be exciting to start another season.
Yes, always excited to get started, regardless of outside. The girls right away wanted to be out there, but snow said no. But yeah, we're excited to get the ball rolling.
Let's talk about this group, because obviously I think whenever you look at Wausau West, you have some bats that you have to replace. I mean, a couple of kids who've gone on to play Division I college softball this season, doing a nice job there. As you look at your team, let's start with the field and the bats. You got a mixture of some experience back, but a lot of new faces as well, don't you?
Yeah, we have 5 girls that are seniors that are returning that have experience on the field. 2 other seniors, they're great leaders, even though they haven't been up here. But we're bringing in a couple different ages. We have sophomore, a lot of travel ball, freshmen, a lot of travel ball. And as a whole, this group is just getting along. They're pushing and motivating each other. And I'm just enjoying the chemistry that I've seen in practice. The work ethic is unmatchable so far.
We were talking about that before we started the interview, and that is, I think, something that a lot of folks don't realize, that interpersonal connection between players, and the old adage that you want the whole to be better than the individual parts, and it kind of starts with that, where you come to practice, where you feel like, hey, the kids are excited to be here, they like being around each other, and that has to make you feel like, hey, we got something to build on right at the start.
Yes, absolutely, and it really starts with the 5 returners I said I have, but even the other 2 seniors have led well, and their work ethic, when they lead by that example, everybody's following suit, and they all want to be like them too. But they're so inclusive of everybody, even our JV team. Like, we do so much together in general, but this year just feels like they really mean it. and there's a connection throughout.
I mentioned the fact that, again, you have a lot of offense to replace, and you pointed out the top of your lineup with Claire, Jaden Taylor, and Jaden Kalmus, all are players that have had experience. But at the same time, I imagine you don't want them to go out there and think, hey, we have to replace X number of runs or X number of home runs or anything like that. Correct. To go out there and just do what you do, right?
Well, yeah. If we have a lot of games where nobody's hitting, and a hit is not going to win a game. So it starts with them. I feel like we put them at the top in this game to let everybody watch how they handle their nerves and handle the pressure. All these girls are capable of hitting that ball. And again, sometimes it's the timings of those hits. And I think they can all do it. It's just getting through those nerves if they're new to this varsity level pitching especially.
Pitching, it's always such a key in softball. I mean, I tell you, it's like, number one, it's who do you got in the circle? And you're fortunate that you have experience in the circle. I mean, I think some of these pitchers had to learn the hard way. Yes. some bumps and bruises, but they do have that experience. And also talking to you previously, these are pitchers that are working hard to get better.
Yes, absolutely. Caitlin is a senior, so she's been on varsity now. This will be her third year where we have relied on her as a pitcher. And she's always had that great demeanor, and she's going to bring it in again. Cool, calm, collective. And no matter what's happening, she believes in everybody behind her, which is huge. And then you have Nora coming in again as a junior. She's been working really hard in the off season. Mm-hmm. And in the weight room, which is going to make a big difference too. But same thing, their demeanor in that circle and not getting frustrated with any errors or anything they do. It's the next pitch, it's the next play. So that mental performance, we don't have to teach this year, and it's great. We even have Claire Schultz, who's a senior. She's our third pitcher, and she's willing to go in there and do whatever we need her to do at the time. So that's nice.
And you mentioned, again, there are some youngsters, I mean, freshmen and sophomores. How do you try to get them into the varsity mindset, and maybe just to make sure that, because sometimes maybe it can be too early, but at the same time, they got talent, they're able to go up there as well. How do you try to implement some of the younger players to get them ready? I mean, today, you got a team like Neenah that's ranked in the top 10 in the preseason.
Well, we're going to have to go away from our pregame interview with the coach here because they're actually going to start up a little bit early here. And Wausau West is the home team. Neenah will be hitting first. We will give you the lineups here as we get things underway again, as we start things off here in Greenheck Turner. And first of all as well, this is not the most opportunistic place to be able to stream from, but at the same time, we're very happy you can be with us here for Warrior Softball. This is not a normal softball field, so the angles and got this big netting in front of us, but Caitlin Butler in the circle. 1 ball, no strikes, and there's a swing and a foul ball. As leading things off for Neenah is Tatum West. For Neenah, Tatum West, the leadoff hitter. She is the second baseman. Kylie Matthey, the pitcher, will hit second, and Libby Yankee, the shortstop, hitting third. We'll get to the entirety of the batting order here coming up. Here's the 1-1. Low and inside, goes off the foot of Tatum West, and a hit batsman and the first base runner of the game and the first base runner of the season. Real quickly, Neenah's batting order. Tatum West, second baseman. Kylie Matthey, the pitcher. Libby Yankee, the shortstop. Natalie Coffey, cleanup hitter at third base. Nora Pater is the center fielder, hitting fifth. Kaylee Johnson, the first baseman, hits sixth. Matthey steps in. First pitch is taken down low for ball 1. Batting seventh, the designated player, Haley Burt. Molly Jacquette is the catcher, hitting eighth. Carly Baltus, the right fielder, hitting ninth. Again, in the circle for Wausau West is Caitlin Butler. Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a ground ball to the right-hand side. Bobbled at short by Elke. Grabs it, fires across. It's off target. Nora Hintz will chase it down. And now rounding third, holding right there will be West. And into second on the throwing error is Kylie Matthey. Artificial turf. And again, one thing that we have to mention here early is that Warriors have not been out there. Nobody, I doubt that Neenah's been out on the field out of doors. Wausau West practicing in the field house during the course of the preseason. Artificial turf here, so, I mean, the bounces should be good, but at the same time, first time really getting an opportunity in game-like situations because they have not had that opportunity in practices because of the poor weather. Second and third, nobody out for Neenah, and the shortstop, Libby Yankee, will now step in. We'll give you the Wausau West defense here. Outfield, Brooklyn Freiberg is in left field. Claire Schultz in center. Taylor Murkowski is in right. Taylor Defner is the third baseman. Jaden Elke is at shortstop. Brianne Bushong at second base. Nora Hintz, the first baseman. Jaden Kalmus, the catcher for Caitlin Butler. Right-handed hitter, Libby Yankee will now step in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball drops a little bit low for ball one. So an early opportunity for Neenah. Again, this is a Neenah team with high expectations this season. Ranked number 10 in the Wisconsin Fast Pitches Coaches Association rankings in the preseason. Pitch is low and inside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes on Yankee, the shortstop. Runner on third base, Tatum West. Kaylee Matthey is at second base. 2-0. There's a bouncer right back to the pitcher. Grab by Butler. Goes to the plate. Now a run down between third and home. And making the grab, making the tag is Taylor Defner to get Tatum West. And holding at first. Warriors are able to get that run down quickly, get the out. Did not allow Libby Yankee to get beyond first base. Advancing to third on the play is Matthew. So that is the first out. Good play in the circle by Caitlin Butler. 1-2-5 on the putout for the first out of the inning. So now runners on the corners after that fielder's choice. Cleanup hitter, Natalie Coffey will now step in for Neenah. Here's the pitch. Squares the bunt, taken for a ball. Throw goes off the mid of the pitcher Butler, but the runner at third will have to hold, and safe at second is Yankee. Trying to cut off that throw from catcher Jaden Kalmus was Butler. Bounced off the mitt, but not far enough away for the runner at third to try and score. Right-handed hitter. No balls and 1 strike. Stepping behind the pitcher's rubber for a moment is Caitlin Butler. Now she's ready. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a foul tip at the plate. And the count quickly goes to 0-2. Strikeout here would be big for Wausau West pitcher Caitlin Butler. One thing the Warriors have this season is some good experience in the circle. We will see Butler here in the first game. Our second game, we will have Nora Hintz, and there's a swing and a little tardy on that cut. Is Coffey, rolls it foul down the first base side. Remains 0-2. Again, this is the first of 2. At 5 o'clock, the Warriors will take on Pulaski. And then the Warriors will be heading off to Arizona next week for spring break. They'll get a chance to play 4 games in the warmth. Here's the 0-2. Change of pace just a little bit up. Oh, that was a nice pitch by Butler. You could see in the right-handed batter's box, Coffey did a little double clutch, but held up, and the pitch was just above the belt and just out of the strike zone. 1-2. Fastball just missing. Trying to frame it on the inside corner was Jaden Kalmus, but again, not getting the calls. Butler, she'll take a stroll behind the pitcher's rubber. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Low and inside, bounces away from Kalmus. Lost it for a moment, but not far enough away for the runners to advance. So the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway. Again, if you were joining us at 3 for the first pitch, they started a little bit early. Runners on second and third, 1 out, top of the first inning. Neenah nothing, Wausau West nothing. Butler's payoff pitch. Down into the artificial dirt, and that is ball 4. So Coffey, after falling behind 0-2, battles back to earn the base on balls. So Neenah now has the bases loaded with 1 out for their center fielder, Nora Pider. Well, now the Warriors do have a force at all bags and at the plate. The right-hander looks in, has the target. Here's the pitch. Big cut there by Pider, but falls it straight back into the screen for strike 1. Again, apologize the angle today. Going through this netting here at Green Heck Turner. Not the best in terms of seeing the stream, but as we continue throughout the season, we'll have better angles once we get outdoors. There's a fly ball. Right center field, going over, making the call, but not able to get there as Claire Schultz gets away. 1 run is in, as the runners were holding, and Neenah takes a 1-0 lead. towards right center field. Claire Schultz tried to get there but could not. Played it on a hop, got it back in quickly. Scoring is Kylie Matthew. Be an RBI single for Pater to make it 1-0. Now stepping in will be the first baseman, Kaylee Johnson. First pitch, misses for ball 1. So 1-0 Neenah here in the top of the first inning. Johnson, right-handed hitter, number 9 on the back of her jersey. Caitlin Butler fires. It's in the artificial dirt. Stopped nicely on that pitch low and in by Jaden Kalmus. And the count goes to 2-0. Tough situation. Nowhere to put the hitter. 2 balls and no strikes. Good hitter's count here for Johnson. Target is set by Kalmus. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball towards second base. Knocked down, picked, flipped by to first in time. 4-3 on the putout. That will score a run and make it 2-0 Neenah. So an RBI ground ball for Kaylee Johnson, scoring Libby Yankee. And now runners on second and third, but 2 outs as Haley Burt will step in. Trying to get out of this frame with no further damage is Caitlin Butler. There's a fastball that's on the outside corner for strike 1 called. Wausau East and Anago playing on the second field here today. They haven't even started. They're a little late. We're a little early. There's a chopper to the right-hand side. Taken on the second hop by Bushong. Little flip to first in time. 4-3 on the putout, and that will do it for Neenah in the top of the first inning. For the Neenah Rockets, 2 runs on 1 base hit. There was a Wausau West error and 2 runners left on base. End of 1/2 inning. It is Neenah 2, Wausau West 0. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Girls Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports.
And Chad Holmes back again here from Greenheck Turner Community Center as the Wausau West Warriors heading to the plate for the first time in 2026, trailing the Neenah Rockets by a score of 2-0. Wausau West batting order. You got Claire Schultz leading things off in center field. Jaden Elke is the shortstop hitting second. Taylor Defner at third base bats third. Jaden Kalmus, the catcher, will bat fourth. Batting fifth, the designated player, Taylor Bauer. Brianne Bushong is at second base hitting sixth. Taylor Murkowski is in right field batting seventh. Caitlin Butler, the pitcher, hits eighth. And Nora Hintz at first base hitting ninth. We'll give you the Neenah defense in just a moment, but Kylie Matthews, first pitch, and there's a swing and a high pop-up, and that will hit the ceiling. It hit the ceiling. What is the ground rule here? It looks like it'll be a foul ball. That's one thing that we will see. In that case, it was a pop-up. We have seen last year some balls that may have been home runs hit the ceiling here, and then it becomes a judgment call. Here's the 0-1. Rising fastball, taking it up and out of the zone is Claire Schultz. Evens it up at 1-1. Natalie Coffey is at third base. Libby Yankee at shortstop. Tatum West at second. Kaylee Johnson at first for Neenah. 1-1. Another fastball up and away for ball 2. Olivia Rasmussen is in left field. Nora Pater is in center. Carly Baltus in right. The catcher is Molly Jacquette for pitcher Kylie Matthew. Here's the pitch, and there's another high pop-up, And again, it will be off the screen. Maybe got a piece of the roof. I think that was just off the screen to the first base side. And the count evens up at 2-2. Saw some snow flurries as we were driving in today, but nice and warm here inside. Another good swing there by Claire Schultz. Follows it off first base side. And the count evens up at 2-2. Part of the returning contingent of Wausau West players. We'll see those in the top half of the batting order here today. 2-2. Working quickly is Matthew. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a rising fastball. Coming up empty is Schultz. And that's the first out. Still a good battle. Leadoff hitter forcing Kylie Matthew to throw 6 pitches in that at-bat. And now, shortstop Jaden Elke will step in for the Warriors. First pitch is just a little bit up. That's ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Right-handed thrower, right-handed hitter. And there's a fastball on the outer half of the plate, taken for a called strike 2. Another long look in. Here's Matthew and the pitch. Fastball misses low and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taylor Defner, the Wausau West third baseman, in the on-deck circle. One-two pitch. There's a fly ball, right field side, coming in, making the call, and making the grab is Carly Baltus for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Warriors, and that will bring up the third baseman, Taylor Defner. Defner, a year ago in Wisconsin Valley Conference play, hit .241 for the Warriors. First pitch is a fastball at the belt for a called strike 1. Working quickly, but now stepping off is Matthew. Had a chance to talk to the Neenah coach before the game. She will be continuing at the next side. And Tatum West will take a step and a half back and make the grab for out number 3. So for the Warriors in the first, no runs on no hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. End of 1 here from J.C. Everson, Greenheck Turner. It is Neenah 2, Wausau West nothing. This is Wausau West Warrior High School softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. We're going to keep it right here. Take a deep breath. I want to again thank Cloverbelt Credit Union for the support as they are our pregame sponsor. And we are just getting things underway here on this new project with Wausau Area Sports, bringing you both the play-by-play that I've done for many years on the radio, but now adding a video stream aspect to it as well. As I said, here this is not the best place in terms of trying to get the best video, but at the same time, we're just glad to have a broadcast. Glad to be bringing you some spring high school sports as we wait for all that snow to go away and we hit the field for baseball and softball again after next week. Next week, no broadcast. The Warriors and Wausau West High School is on spring break. And then the following week, we'll be back with our first baseball broadcast. In fact, coming up on the 7th of April, Wausau West baseball at Menominee. In fact, that's where the Warriors finished off their season a year ago in the playoffs in a extra inning thriller that they came up short in. But we'll be heading over to Menominee for that first broadcast in about a week and a half. Molly Jacquette, the number 8 hitter, leads things off for Neenah. And the first pitch from Caitlin Butler is low and outside for ball 1. Molly Jacquette, Carly Baltus, and Tatum West right now due up here for the Rockets. And there's a foul ball, evens things up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking in is Butler. There's a good fastball, pops into the mid of Jaden Kalmus and taken for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander stares in. She's ready. Here's the pitch. Fastball just off the outside corner. Again, some pretty good control early for Butler. Some of these pitches she's missing just by a couple of inches, and that's a good 1-2 pitch. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, change of pace, hangs a little bit up and in, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count here on Molly Jacquet, the leadoff hitter for Neenah in the top of the 2nd inning. And the payoff pitch, little tardy on that cut, but getting a piece of it was Jacquet, falls it into the screen, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Corner infielders, Taylor Deffner at third, Nora Hintz at first, just in front of the respective bags. Left-handed batter steps back in. Butler. Here's the rock and the pitch. Another liner goes right over the top of the on-deck hitter. Carly Baltus into the screen. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Another stare in from Caitlin Butler. Here's the rock and the pitch. Another foul ball. Again, the left-handed hitter. A little bit late, but able to get a piece of it. Fall it to the screen on the right field side. And we'll do it yet again at 3-2. Leadoff hitter, top of the 2nd inning. And the payoff. There's a looping liner. It goes right in the hole of the net. I think you probably saw it on the camera. There's a net here in front of us on the third base side, and there's a little bit of an opening. It went right in that opening. Foul ball. So a fourth 3-2 pitch coming up. Caitlin Butler, the right-hander's ready. And the pitch. Drops a little low on a change of pace, and that's ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Molly Jacquet, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter in the Neenah order, right fielder Carly Baltus. As we continue here this afternoon, we'll talk a bit about the preseason rankings in high school softball. Wisconsin Fast Pitch Coaches Association and Max Prep released their preseason rankings a few days ago. Mentioned that Neenah is number 10 in Division I. We'll let you know about the entirety of the rankings. Also want to let you know about how a few of these Wausau West graduates are doing. A couple of the Warriors from last season, Claire Kalmus and Taylor Liebel playing Division I softball. Autumn Hughes playing at UW River Falls. We'll let you know how they're doing so far this season as well. There's a check swing, but going around is Carly Baltus, and that's strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Right-handed hitting Carly Baltus. And the pitch squares the bunt, but pulls it back, taken for a strike. Breaking off of first was Jacquet, but holds there. And the count now is 0-2. Actually, no, they called that a ball. I thought the arm went up, but apparently, nope, ball 1. Pitch is low and in, and that's ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on Baltus, the top of the order. Tatum West in the on-deck circle for Neenah. Jaden Kalmus going through her signs. Here's the pitch. Fastball pops into the mid of Jaden Kalmus. Strike 2 called. Oh, the scoreboard was wrong. That pitch that I thought was a strike, so that was strike 3. And the first strikeout for Caitlin Butler. And that square round, Baltus did not pull it back. It was a strike, but the scoreboard had indicated it was a ball. Tatum West now in the batter's box. Pick off the first and just back. Hand on a headfirst dive. Jacquet able to get in front of that throw from Jaden Kalmus. No balls and 1 strike on West. She was hit by a pitch her first time up. Here's the pitch. Fastball off the inside corner. Fake on the throw towards first by Kalmus. Count evens up. Well, the scoreboard again says 2-0. I think it's 1-1. We'll have to wait and see. 1 out. Top of the 2nd. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball towards short. Good pick by Elke. Fires across in time. Not an easy play by Jaden Elke at shortstop. On the second hop, she just got that glove down and said, I hope it sticks, and it certainly did. And then a good throw across to Hintz. 6-3 on the putout. Advancing to second on the play was Jack Wett, but that is the second out of this inning. And that will leave it up to Kylie Matthey, the pitcher for Neenah. She reached on an air and scored a run back in the first inning. Caitlin Butler is ready. Here's the pitch. That will drop down low, taken for a ball. Antigo leads Wausau East in the first inning 2-0. 2 games going on here. There's a fastball just a little bit up and out of the zone, and the count goes to 2-0. There are games today, 2 going on, 3 o'clock starts, 2 more at 5 o'clock, 2 more at 7, and then games tomorrow at 10, noon, and 2. So an opportunity to see plenty of softball here at DC Everest. There's a swing and a liner into center field, and it'll go all the way to the fence. 1 run will come in to score. Now heading to second, rounding second, heading to third. Here comes a throw, and sliding and out at third will be Kylie Matthey. It was chased down by Claire Schultz in deep center field. Good throw to the cutoff, and then a fire to third. Putting down the tag was Defner. It's an RBI double for Matthey, but the inning comes to an end. So for Neenah in the second, they scored 1 run on 1 base hit. There were no Wausau West errors, and nobody left on base. End of an inning and a half. It is Neenah leading Wausau West by a score of 2-0. We'll be right back. This is high school softball on WausauAreaSports.com.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Chad Holmes again, back here from DC Everest, bottom of the second inning. Warriors at the plate. Ground balls leading things off. Pick at second, fire to first in time. Leading things off for the Warriors was Jaden Kalmus, a 4-3 putout to begin the bottom of the second inning. Now up for the Warriors will be the number 5 hitter, the designated player, Taylor Bauer. Right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. Fastball just a little bit low from Kylie Matthey, and that is ball 1. Casey joined us late. 2 runs in the top of the first, 1 in the top of the second for Neenah. 3-0 game. And actually reminds me, change the scoreboard. Matthey with the pitch. There's a liner, goes off the netting on the first base side, a foul ball. Ball and a strike. Here's the pitch. Another foul ball to the right-hand side, and that's strike 2. So Taylor Bauer, number 19, designated player. Trying to get the Warriors their first base runner. Kylie Matthey's pitch is inside, and it will be off the leg of Bauer. And there is the first base runner for the Warriors. Taylor Bauer, senior for the Warriors. Next up will be a freshman, Brianne Bushong. Coming out to run will be the flex player, Brooklyn Freiberg. She'll be running for the designated player, Taylor Bauer. And now Brianne Bushong, who is the right-handed hitter, wears number 1 on the back of the jersey. First pitch is a fastball just a little bit high for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Kylie Matthew towing the rubber. Here's the rock and the pitch. Taken on the inside corner for a called strike 1. Faking a move towards second base was Brooklyn Freiberg, but stays there. 1-1. Matthews ready. 1-1 pitch. Good cut there by Bushong, and she falls it into the screen for a second strike. A young player that I think Coach Hughes is looking for a lot from here this season. Again, she looks very comfortable in that right-handed box. Hands up near the right ear hole. Pitch is up and away. Runner on the move. Throw down to second, and sliding in safely with the stolen base is Brooklyn Freiberg. So the Warriors now have a runner in scoring position with just 1 out. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brianne Bushong. There's a swing and another foul ball. Stays alive at 2-2. Again, here's the 2-2 pitch. That will bounce off of home plate, goes to the backstop. Rounding third and staying right there is Brooklyn Freiberg. So the Warriors have that potential first run just 60 feet away at third base with 1 out. Then the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kylie Matthew looking at her wristband on the left-hand side for the pitch. And here's the delivery. And there's a flare again to the right field side off the screen. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Wausau East scored a run in the bottom of the first inning in the other game here today over at the left-hand side of where I'm looking. And to go 2, Wausau East 1, heading to the second. 3-2. There's a ground ball in the hole. Good play made by Yankee. Long throw across and not in time. And a run will come in and score. Boy, that was a terrific play at short. Libby Yankee got to the hole backhanded and then fired across quickly, but beating it out for an RBI infield single is Brianne Bushong, scoring Brooklyn Freiberg, and now the Warriors on the board make it 3-1. Taylor Murkowski now coming to the plate for Wausau West. And there's a swing, a hard grounder off the pitcher Matthew, picked by Yankee, fires across in time. Tough break there. A hard hit ball up the middle by Taylor Murkowski. Able to fight it off, get a piece of it was Matthew, and then charging in was Libby Yankee at short to make the pick and a very good throw across. 1-6-3 on the putout for out number 2. Advancing to second on the play was Brianne Bushong. So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Caitlin Butler. Here's the pitch and a swing and a miss. Fastball, belt high. 0-1. Kylie Matthews ready. Here's the rock and the pitch. Fastball rises up and out of the strike zone. Count goes to 1-1. Bottom half of the second inning. Neenah 3, Wausau West 1. And the pitch, swing and a fall straight back to the screen. And the count goes to 1-2. One, two. There's a liner towards right field. Is it a fair ball? Nope, just ends up foul. Taking it the other way with 2 strikes and almost dropping it in was Butler, so we'll do it again at 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Another good cut there by Caitlin Butler. Follows it straight back. And we'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Number 2 on the back of the jersey for Caitlin Butler. Here's Matthew and the pitch. Change of pace, and that'll float in there for strike 3 called and end the Wausau West second inning. For the Warriors, 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. And a 2, it is Neenah 3, Wausau West 1. This is Wausau West Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything isn't everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
And Chad Holmes again here from DC Everest and the Green Heck Turner Community Center. Season opener in high school softball for the Wausau West Warriors. Taking on the Neenah Rockets. Neenah 3, Wausau West 1. Coming up for Neenah here in the top of the 3rd inning, it will be the 3, 4, and 5 batters. Libby Yankee, Natalie Coffey, and Nora Pater against Caitlin Butler. Butler's first pitch, ground ball, past the shortstop into left field for a base hit. Hard hit grounder, trying to go to her left and snag it was Jaden Elke. Could not knock it down, and leadoff hitter on with Yankee for Neenah here in the 3rd. That will bring up the cleanup hitter, 3rd baseman Natalie Coffey. Coffey walked her first time up. Here's the pitch. Big cut. Runner is on the move, but it's fouled straight back for strike 1. Was not able to finish the pregame interview with Coach Jamie Hughes because the game started early, but we'll play that in the pregame of our 2nd matchup later today. One of the things, as here comes the 0-1, pitch is taken for a ball. Holding at first this time is Yankee, and it's 1-1. Warriors heading on a spring break trip to Arizona next week. And they're not flying, they're actually taking the bus. And that's going to be a long bus ride, team building activities. And you're going to learn a lot about each other on a bus all the way to Arizona. There's a ground ball in the hole. Elke, long throw across, on target in time. Now throw across to 3rd, going halfway between 2nd and 3rd was Yankee. But she scurries back to the bag. But that was a terrific play made by Jaden Elke. Number 1 to get to that one in the hole to her right. And then a good strong throw across. 6-3 on the putout for out number 1. Again, it was such a long throw. It gave Yankee the thought, perhaps, of trying to go all the way from 1st to 3rd on that ground ball. But ready was Nora Hintz at first, and she threw it right across to Defner on target. And then getting back to the bag at 2nd was Yankee. There's a ground ball, first base side, foul off the bat of Nora Pater, strike 1. Pater had an RBI single her first time up in the 1st, so she is 1 for 1. Caitlin Butler again toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. There's a grounder, first base side, knocked down by Hintz, and she'll go 2 steps to the bag. 3 unassisted for out number 2. Advancing to 3rd on the ground ball was Libby Yankee. So 2 outs, runner on 3rd for first baseman and number 6 hitter, Kaylee Johnson. Chance here to keep it at 3-1. as Caitlin Butler fires. Good fastball in at the knees on the inner half of the plate for strike one called. Throwing it well here is Caitlin Butler. She's done a nice job. Her control has been pretty solid. 0-1. There's a liner right to first base and snagged by Nora Hintz. Well hit ball by Johnson, but right to the Wausau West first baseman to end the inning. So for Neenah in the third, no runs on one base hit. There were no Wausau West errors and one runner left on base. End of 2.5. It is Neenah 3, Wausau West 1. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Softball on the YouTube channel of Wausau Area Sports.
Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic.
Chad Holmes again here from DC Everest. DC Everest Softball Invitational starting the year off with a second straight campaign. Couple of games today for the Wausau West Warriors. Action here at Greenheck Turner both today and tomorrow. Warriors coming to the plate, trailing by a score of 3-1. Number 9 hitter Nora Hintz will lead things off. Here's the first pitch of the inning. Big cut by Hintz, follows it straight back for strike one. Nora Hintz, Claire Schultz, and Jaden Elke up against Kylie Matthew, the right-hander for the Neenah Rockets. Oh, one. Oh, it was well short of the plate. Pulling the string that time was Matthew. And way out front was Hintz. Could not hold up. And the count goes to 0-2. Working quickly, the right-hander. Here's the fire. Good fastball and a good cut to fight it off by Hintz. Followed it straight back. And we'll do it again at 0-2. All red here for the Neenah Rockets. White numerals. No balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Kylie Matthew. A little bit tardy was Nora Hintz. First out of the inning. Third strikeout of the afternoon for Kylie Matthew. And now back to the top of the order, and Claire Schultz. Right-handed hitting center fielder. Here's the pitch. Change of pace, and again, fooling the hitter. Schultz was about 3/4 of the way through it before she said, "Oh, I think I'm in front." It tried to pull it back, but it's strike one. That was almost one of those Bugs Bunny ones. You remember those Bugs Bunny cartoons? The change of pace where you swing about 5 times, and there's a fastball that's up and away for ball one. 4-1 Antigo over Wausau East in the other game over here at DC Everest. That game is in the second inning. 1-1. Another change of pace. That one bounces in, stopped by the catcher, Molly Jacquette. And the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the rock and the pitch. Fastball pops into the mid of Jacquette right at the knees for a called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the third inning. 3-1 Neenah with the lead over Wausau West. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball. 1 hopper right back to the pitcher. Matthew will snag, flip the first in time. 1-3 on the putout for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Warriors, and that will bring up their number 2 hitter. Shortstop, Jaden Elke. Boy, that play Elke made in the previous half inning was a really good play. That saved a run ultimately, maybe more for the Warriors. Fastball in for strike 1 called. Number 1 was making the play in the hole, and then that's a tough throw, a long throw, but she had plenty on it. Right on target to Hintz to get the runner. No balls and 1 strike. Matthews pitch. Another good fastball. Boy, that mixture between that good fastball and the good changeup can make things very difficult on a hitter. And the count now 0-2. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to the right-hand side, picked there by Tatum West. She'll flip the first in time, and that will do it for a very quick 1-2-3 inning for the Warriors in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. End of 3. Season opener for the Wausau West softball team, and they trail Neenah by a score of 4-1. We're going to keep it right here. Just a quick note. Number 1, again, as we get into the season, we will have better broadcasting spots for the camera, so we'll be able to see a lot more. Again, I think that here today it's just one of those situations where not a softball field, but we're getting a chance to get some activity in. But as we get into the action, many of the places have a good broadcast press box or a good location right behind home plate. So we'll look forward to seeing a little bit more as we get into the meat of our softball and baseball coverage here on Wausau Area Sports. Also, make sure you check out the website. Go to wausauareasports.com. Again, that's wausauareasports.com to be able to catch up on all the latest information on area high school sports. Just yesterday, I was over at the Wausau West Fieldhouse as the Warriors hosted the Wausau West Small School Invitational Track and Field Meet. The Warrior girls were first. The Newman Catholic was second. Wausau West boys were second behind Shawano, with Newman fourth. Had a complete write-up on the winners and other top performances in that one. So again, you can check that out. And other sports news at wausauareasports.com. Swing and a miss as, again, Caitlin Butler continues to throw the ball very well for the Warriors as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Leading things off, number 7 hitter, designated player, Haley Burt. 0-1. There's a ground ball past a diving second baseman, Bushong into right for a base hit. Well hit ball that time. Off the bat of Haley Burt going the other way. So a leadoff single for Neenah in the top of the 4th. That is the 4th base hit of the game for the Rockets. The designated player will come off, and she'll be replaced by the flex player, Olivia Rasmussen. Rasmussen is playing in left field defensively today for Neenah. So now the number 8 hitter, catcher Molly Jacquette, will step in. She walked her first time up. Now the left-handed hitter, who walked her first time, steps in. Towing the rubber, Caitlin Butler, the senior, fires. Pitch taken a little bit low, perhaps a tad outside for ball 1. See on our camera beyond the big glass behind first base in the first base dugout area where Wausau West is, still snow on the ground. 1-0. There's a bunt. Pushed down the first base side, and it goes foul. That's a good thing for the Warriors. I don't think Wausau West would have been able to get her if that ball would have stayed fair. Count evens up at 1-1. Boy, it's got to be exciting for the Warrior girls to get ready for that trip to Arizona next week. Again, they'll get 4 games. They'll get some practice time as well. That should really get them in good stead for the start of the Wisconsin Valley Conference season. Here's the 1-1. Pitch is taken outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. When I found out they were going to Arizona, I should have gone down with them. 2 balls and a strike. Caitlin Butler, runner on first, nobody out, top of the 4th inning, 3-1 Neenah. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt attempt fouled off, and that will even things up at 2-2. So twice trying to lay down that bunt was Molly Jacquette. Now the left-handed hitter will, in all likelihood, swing away. Number 9 hitter, right fielder Carly Baltus, waits on deck for Neenah. Again, towing the rubber is Caitlin Butler. The right-hander's ready. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner on a fastball for strike 3 called. Not liking it was Jacquette. She'll head back to the third base side. But out number 1 for the Rockets in the top of the 4th inning. That is the 2nd strikeout of the day for Caitlin Butler. And next up will be right fielder Carly Baltus. She was the first strikeout victim as she went down in the second. Right-handed hitter, number 14 on the back of the jersey. Butler stares in, has the target. Here's the pitch. Up and out of the strike zone for ball one. 3 runs on 4 base hits. No errors for the Neenah Rockets. 1 run on 1 base hit and an error for the Wausau West Warriors. 3-1 Neenah, top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Rising fastball, runner on the move, throw to second, goes into center field. Rounding second, heading to third, and sliding in safely is Rasmussen. It will be a stolen base and an error, and put a runner on third with 1 out for Neenah. The pitch was taken up high for a ball. Jaden Kalmuth fired to second, but it scooted off the artificial turf into center field. And now a runner 60 feet away from reestablishing a 3-run lead for Neenah. So now a strikeout would be big, but 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch is down into the artificial dirt and taken for ball 3.
No.
Number 9 hitter, so the top of the order, and Tatum West in the on-deck circle for Neenah. Caitlin Butler deals. Fastball catches the inside corner for strike 1 called. Was not giving in on that pitch. But now 3-1. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball by Butler, and she's battled back to even things up at has battled back to run it full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just waiting in the box is Baltus. Now ready is Butler. Here's the rock and the payoff. Swing and a miss and a big strikeout for Butler. Runner remains on third now with 2 outs. So back-to-back strikeouts, and that time with the runner on third, fighting back from a 3-0 count was Caitlin Butler. Now a chance to again strand a runner on third. Did it in the previous inning. Will try to do it again as Tatum West, the second baseman and leadoff hitter, steps in. West has been hit by a pitch and also grounded out. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball towards second base. Scooped there by Bushong, flips to first in time. 4-3 on the putout, and again doing a nice job of stranding a runner at third is Caitlin Butler for the Warriors. For Neenah in the top of the 4th, no runs on 1 base hit. There were no Wausau West errors, and 1 runner left on base. We are halfway through here in the first game of the season for the Wausau West Warriors. Middle of the 4th. It is Neenah 3, Wausau West 1. This is Warrior Softball on 98.9. I knew I was going to do that. It's Warrior Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Warriors trail Neenah 3-1. Leading things off is Taylor Defner. Took the first pitch for strike 1. 0-1. There's a well-hit ball deep in the center, but there will be room. Making the call and making the grab will be Nora Pater for out number 1. Well, as we get into the season, start to get a feel for where some of these balls are going to be traveling. I thought off the bat that one had an opportunity, but there was plenty of room in center for Pater to bring that one in for out number 1. 0-1. Now the count on Jaden Kalmus. Number 4 hitter in the Wausau West order. She grounded second base her first time up. Here's the 0-1. Change of pace, ends up outside and a bit high. Even things up at 1-1. The other game here at Everest is in the third inning with Antigo leading Wausau East by a score of 5-1. So again, lots of softball if you want to come out. There's a hard hit grounder into center field for a base hit. Ripping it through the box is Jaden Kalmus for the Warriors' second hit of the game. So a runner on first, 1 out for Wausau West. And we're going to get a courtesy runner here. Brooklyn Kalmus, freshman, will be doing the running here for Jaden Kalmus. By the way, of course, Claire Kalmus, playing softball at the University of Wisconsin. Badgers 16-11 overall, 2-4 in the Big Ten. They're taking on Maryland. In fact, getting underway in about 15 minutes. Claire Kalmus has played in 21 games so far as a true freshman with 4 starts for the Badgers. Has a couple of RBI and a 188 batting average, but getting some good experience here early in her freshman season. There's the pitch, up and away, runner on the move, throw down to second, and in standing up is Kalmus, Brooklyn Kalmus with the stolen base. Taylor Bauer, the designated player, took that one for a ball. Here is the pitch. There's a fastball on the inner part of the plate for a called strike. RBI chance here for Taylor Bauer, trying to get the Warriors to within 1. Swing and a miss. A change of pace again. That's been perhaps the most effective pitch that Kylie Matthews had so far today. Well, out in front of that cut was Bauer, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Another changeup. This time waiting on a ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by West. Rounding third. Heading home is Kalmus. She will score. Throw back to first. Dive back in safely is Bauer. It's an RBI single for Bauer. And the Warriors now to within 1 at 3-2. Another change of pace that time, but that time Taylor Bauer waited back on it, grounded up the middle. Good effort by Tatum West. Made the dive, was able to keep it from going to center field, but had no play and not hesitating at all. She was moving on contact, was Brooklyn Kalmus, and she was able to score easily. So the Warriors to within 1, 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Potential tying run now on first base for the Warriors as Brooklyn Freiberg again will be the runner. Here's a swing, and ooh, that was a foul tip right off the face mask of the catcher, Molly Jacquette. And she is down. A foul tip, and that one banged right off the helmet and face mask of the catcher. Coach is going to come out as right now just on her knees, and her head is right on the ground. Is Jacquette, and that was, again, just a foul tip at the plate off the bat of Brianne Bushong, and rang the bell of Molly Jacquette. Everybody just giving her a little bit of time right now to try and shake it off, but has not moved very much. She's still just there on her shin pads, and again leaning down, and now she will raise her head, take off the mask, and I think be okay. But again, that is one of the aspects of being a catcher that is very difficult, those foul tips. And they're going to make sure that she is okay before we move forward, and it looks like she is going to be okay, and it looks like she's going to stay in the game. Bottom of the 4th inning, Warriors with the runs in the 2nd and now here in the 4th after Neenah scored twice in the 1st and once in the 2nd. It's a 3-2 game. Again, they're going to give a little bit of time here for catcher Molly Jacquette to get back after, again, that's those fall tips. If they hit in the wrong spot, that just is as good as the face masks and the helmets are these days. Sometimes it can still be a bit of a shock, and I think that was the case there. She was just leaning over with her head on the ground there for probably a good minute there, trying to shake it off. This is the first of two today for Wausau West. They will be in action coming up at 5 o'clock, right back here against Pulaski, another team for the eastern part of the state. We will have that game for you right here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Our first two ever broadcasts of Wausau High School Sports. And again, if you have not checked out the website, go to wausauareasports.com. Again, we have the latest high school sports news there. We also have our upcoming broadcast schedule there as well. Ways for you to contact me if you have any ideas for stories or any suggestions. I would love to hear from you. Again, go to Wausau Area Sports and go to our contact area, and you'll be able to send me a note. Would love to have you tune in and to be able to give us suggestions. And also, if you are somebody that would like to support our coverage of area high school sports, would love to be able to pass along potential advertising packages as well. So again, just go to wausauareasports.com and you can get, again, latest area high school sports news, our upcoming play-by-play schedule, contact, and a whole bunch more. Again, our broadcasts are always on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, so go to youtube.com and subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. After this one is over, we'll be taking a short break and then come back for the second game, scheduled for 5 o'clock. As again, we're just waiting here as still standing behind home plate and talking to her coach is catcher Molly Jacquette, who took a foul tip off the bat of Brianne Bushong, right off that face mask and off the helmet area behind home plate. Warriors have scored one run here in the bottom of the fourth inning, an RBI single by Taylor Bauer, which scored Brooklyn Kalmus, who was pinch running for Jaden Kalmus, who had singled with one out to make it 3-2. 3-2, Neenah with the lead. Third inning, over on the other field here, again, these are two fields that are next to each other. Can take a peek to my left and see that Antigo is leading Wausau East by a score of 5-3 in the third. I mentioned how Claire Kalmus has been doing in terms of her college freshman season at Wisconsin. We also have Taylor Liebelt, who is a freshman playing Division I softball at Illinois State in the Missouri Valley Conference. Illinois State is 17-9 this season, 7-2 in the MVC. They are playing today a doubleheader at Northern Iowa, and Taylor Liebelt off to a very good start. She is hitting a .292. She has played in 21 games for Illinois State, 16 starts, 3 home runs, and 9 RBI. So again, Taylor Liebelt, as a true freshman, doing a very nice job right now for the Illinois State Redbirds in the Missouri Valley Conference. And right now they're going to give Molly Jacquette an opportunity to take a warm-up pitch or two from her pitcher, Kylie Matthew, to make sure everything is A-OK. It looks like she is handling things very well. And then we will have Brianne Bushong stepping back in for the Warriors. So back to action here in the bottom of the fourth inning. One out, runner on first for the Warriors, who trailed Neenah by a score of 3-2. Matthew looks at her wristband on the left arm. Now she's ready. Here's the rock and the 0-1 pitch. There's a bunt, third base side. It's a foul ball. Trying to fool the Rocket defense. Brianne Bushong pushed it down the third base side, but just went foul, and the count goes to 0-2. Right-handed batter. Brianne had an RBI single her first time up. Pitch misses up and away. Runner on the move. Throw to second. It's sliding in safely. Throw goes into short center field, but not far enough for the runner to advance. Again, that's Brooklyn Freiberg running after the single by Bauer. But another stolen base for Freiberg. She has been active on the base paths as Bauer has reached base each time and then has been replaced by Freiberg as the runner. She scored the first run of the game for the Warriors. Here's the pitch. Big cut that time by Brianne Bushon, but follows it straight back. Count remains 2-2. So the tying run now in scoring position for Wausau West. Runner on second. Neenah, 10th ranked team in the state in the Division I WFCA Max Preps preseason poll. 2-2, misses down low, and that's ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes on the number 6 hitter in the Wausau West order. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball knocked down at second by West. From her knees, fires the first in time. Throw back to second, but diving back in safely is Freiberg. Oh, what a play made at second base by Tatum West to take away a hit, an RBI, and a tie game from the Warriors. It was a well-hit ball the other way on that 3-2 pitch by Brianne Bushong. But knocking it down and then throwing from her knees was West to get the freshman for out number 2. Change of pace in at the knees to Taylor Murkowski for strike 1. Here's the rock. 0-1 pitch. There's a roller third base side. It's going to be a foul ball. Boy, coming very close to touching it on the third base side was Natalie Coffey. I thought for a moment it may have gone off the edge of her mitt. It was still in fair territory, but she pulled it away, and the English took it foul. Runner on second, 2 outs, 0-2 here on Murkowski. Here's the pitch, and there's a pop-up first base side. Making the call, making the grab is Kaylee Johnson, and that will do it for the Warriors in the 4th, but they do get another run back. Warriors, 1 run on a pair of base hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. And the 4, it is Neenah 3, Wausau West 2. This is Warrior Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Not too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Chad Holmes again here from DC Everest, Greenheck Turner Community Center. Top of the 5th inning, the 2, 3, and 4 batters coming to the plate for Neenah, who lead West 3-2. First pitch swinging, and a break for Neenah because that looked like a pop-up on the infield, but it slams off the ceiling here at Greenheck Turner, and that will be a foul ball and strike 1 to Kylie Matthew. Matthew reached on an air, scored a run in the first, had an RBI double in the second, so she is 1 for 2. And actually, this is not Matthew. This is Olivia Rasmussen hitting in place of Matthew. So the flex player, Rasmussen, hitting in place of the pitcher, getting an at-bat. And again, that's not surprising here in these first couple of games. This is just an opportunity to get some real reps for these teams. Have not had an opportunity to be outside. Been a lot of indoor activity, which is nothing like you see in a real game. So here, Olivia Rasmussen, the left fielder, flex player, gets an at-bat. Pitch is up and out of the strike zone. Evens things up at 1-1. Pitch is up and out of the strike zone. And actually, I think they called that an out. Excuse me, that was Matthew. This is Libby Yankee as the pitch is up and out of the zone, and that's ball 3. So what happened was it was Matthew who had that first pop-up, and there is judgment that can be used, and they said that would have been an out. So they called that a pop-up and an out. And now Libby Yankee, who is the shortstop, is in, the number 3 hitter, and it's 3-0. And there's a fastball that rises up and out of the zone, and that's a base on balls. So a 4-pitch walk to Libby Yankee. Puts a runner on first with 1 out for Neenah. And their third baseman, Natalie Coffey, coming to the plate. Coffey walked in the first, grounded to shortstop in the third. Here's the first pitch, and that is in there for strike 1 called. Three to 2, a tight one here in the opener. Warriors and the Neenah Rockets. 0-1. Pitch is taken for a strike. Runner on the move. Throw to second and sliding in safely. Making a nice grab on the one hopper was second baseman Brianne Bushong. The throw is right on target from Jaden Kalmus, but sliding in just ahead of the tag was Yankee. It's 0-2 on Coffey, but now a runner on second with 1 out for Neenah. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Fire to first in time. Advancing to third on the play is Yankee. So 1-3 on the ground ball by Natalie Coffey, and 2 outs and a runner on third. This is a bit of a deja vu all over again here for Caitlin Butler. The last 2 innings has been in this situation with a runner on third, and has been able to strand the Neenah runner in both the third and the fourth, and now trying to do it here in the 5th. First pitch misses low and inside to Nora Pater for ball 1. Actually, it's Noah Piter, excuse me. Right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Fastball catches the top of the zone for a called strike 1. So Nora Piter, the center fielder, had an RBI single and is also grounded out to first base. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch. Fastball just off the outside corner. Missed, but not by much. But the count goes to 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on third for Neenah. Caitlin Butler fires. Fastball just a tad up and out of the zone, and that's ball 3. Kaylee Johnson, the first baseman, waits on deck for Neenah. Here's the pitch. This is up and out of the zone, and that's ball 4. Throw back to third, but back in safely was Yankee. So now runners on the corners and 2 outs. For number 6 hitter, first baseman Kaylee Johnson. Johnson had an RBI ground ball in the first, lined hard to the first baseman Nora Hintz in the third. Butler's ready. Here's the pitch. Runner on the move. Pitch taken. Throw to second, and it's in time! So the Warriors able to get the good fire from Jaden Kalmus to get Piter attempting to steal and strand a runner again on third base. So for the Rockets in the 5th, no runs, no hits, pair of walks, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. End of 4.5, heading to the bottom of the 5th. Warriors down by 1. It's 3-2 Neenah. This is Wausau West Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. We're We're going to keep it right here. Thanks again to our sponsors. Cloverville Credit Union. We finance spring fun. Since 1936, local lenders lending local money, keeping our community strong. Now open in Mosinee. Visit CCU's new branch in the Bayman Professional Building across from the Mosinee Airport. Also, thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department to check out activities going on at Wausau West, whether athletic or other activities going on at West. You can go to WisconsinValleyConference.org, click on Wausau West, and see what is happening with Wausau West students and student athletes. Mentioned earlier about a couple of Wausau West grads who are doing well at the college level. Another is Autumn Hughes. She is now at UW River Falls. And Autumn Hughes having a very good start to her season. .368 batting average. She has played in 16 games for the Falcons, has 8 starts, has 6 stolen bases as well this season. So now the Warriors down by 1. Here's the first pitch of the inning, and there's a foul tip on a bunt attempt. Jenna Gravine getting an at-bat here in the number 8 hole that was occupied by Caitlin Butler. So Jenna Gravine, junior for the Warriors, getting her first at-bat. Here's another square round, and it's a bunt, and it was off the body of Gravine. Are they going to say she was in the box or not? Now the umpires are going to get together, see whether or not the ball went off the body of Gravine while she was still in the right-handed batter's box or she was outside the box. They're going to say that the ball went off of Jenna. She was still in the box, so that will be a foul ball and strike 2. Here comes the 0-2 from Matthew. There's a pop, goes off the screen on the right-hand side, and we'll do it again at 0-2. 3-2 Neenah. First game of the season. Part of the DC Everest Invitational. Indoors at Greenheck Turner. 0-2. Fastball just a shade down low. Saw Jenna Gravine take a peek back at the umpire, waiting to see whether that arm would go up. It was just down and out of the zone, and ball 1. Kylie Matthew working her 5th inning. Here's the rock and the pitch. Way up and out of the zone on a rising fastball, and the count evens up at 2-2. 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Nora Hintz due up next for Wausau West, and then Claire Schultz in the hole. And the pitch. There's a liner, but right to the center fielder. Making the grab is Nora Pider, excuse me. Well hit ball by Gravine. But the first out of the inning. So Nora Hintz, number 9 hitter, 0 for 1, steps in. Here's the pitch. And there's a little looper towards right field. It'll drop in. Picked that right throw to first, but not in time. Coming in hard was Carly Baltus. But beating it out at first and getting the single will be Nora Hintz. So a 1-out single for Hintz. And the tying run now on base for the Warriors. Top of the order, Claire Schultz now for the Warriors. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the inside corner for a called strike 1. Claire Schultz struck out in the first and then grounded out in the 3rd. Kylie Matthew, the right-hander, rocks, deals. Looking to bunt, but coming up empty on a pitch that ended up out of the strike zone was Schultz. And the count is 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Jaden Elke waiting on deck for the Warriors. Matthews ready. Here's the pitch. Change of pace and coming up empty. A swing and a miss is Claire Schultz for out number 2. Again, that changeup has been very important for Kylie Matthews so far today. So 2 outs, runner on first for Jaden Elke. Right-handed batters. Open stance for the right-handed box. Here's the pitch. Another change and trying to hold up, but fouling it off is Elke for strike one. Three to two. Neenah with the lead over Wausau West as we play the bottom of the fifth inning. Matthews pitch, rising fastball up and out of the zone. Even things up at 1-1. Fourth inning, over on field number 2 here at DCE. Antigo 5, Wausau East 3. 1-1. Another change. Bunt. This is a good one. First base side picked. Fired to first. And just in time. Oh, a good bunt pushed on the first base side by Elke. But a good play by Molly Jacquette to get to it, pick it up barehanded, and then get Elke in a bang-bang play at first to end the Wausau West fifth inning. 2-3 on the putout. For the Warriors, no runs on one base hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. End of 5 innings. It is Neenah 3, Wausau West 2. This is Wausau West Warrior Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of...
And Chad Holmes back with you here from the Greenheck Turner Family Arena, part of the Greenheck Turner Community Center here at DC Everest Senior High School. DC Everest hosting an indoor softball invitational here today and tomorrow. Again, lots of activity. First games of the day, West against Neenah, East against Antigo. And then 5 and 7, there will also be activity going on as well. But 3-2 as Neenah comes to the plate in the top of the 6th inning. Still out there for the Warriors is Caitlin Butler. Her first pitch is low and inside for ball 1 to Kaylee Johnson, who was at the plate to begin play. I should say she was at the plate at the end of the 5th inning when Nora Piter was caught stealing. 1-0. Good fastball there from the right-hander. Taken for strike 1. One ball and one strike on Johnson. She had an RBI ground ball back in the 1st inning. 1-1. There's a fly ball, well hit right center field. They'll drop in for a base hit. Bounces over Murkowski. She'll chase it down near the fence. Stopping at second base will be Johnson with a leadoff double for the Rockets in the top of the 6th inning. So again, a runner in scoring position for Neenah. They've had runners in scoring position in every inning so far in this game. They've stranded runners on third each of the last 3 innings as Butler in the big situations has done a terrific job keeping it a very tight game. So 3-2, top of the 6th, runner on second and nobody out for the designated player, Haley Burt. She is 1 for 2, had a single her last time up. Neenah scored twice in the 1st, once in the 2nd. The Warriors scored once in the 2nd and once in the 4th. Caitlin Butler has the sign, has the target. Here's the rock and the pitch. Pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1. Again, squaring the bunt, but coming up empty was Burt. That's one of the areas early in the season that could be hit and miss, is that small ball. There's bunting. 0-1. There's a chopper right over the pitcher. Taken in front of the bag by Bushong. Fires the first, not in time. Nothing that could be done for the Wausau West freshman second baseman. Made a nice pick. It was clean. Fired it over to first base, but just not enough time as Burt went down the line very quickly. And now runners on the corners and nobody out after back-to-back hits for Neenah. And it looks like I think we may be getting a pinch hitter here. Third base coach and head coach Adam Heblowitz going and talking to the home plate umpire. And actually, it's very difficult, even not that far away, to see the number through this rather dark screening here at DC Everest. And it's one of those things here. Again, I mentioned that if you're tuned in here for the first time, you're not seeing probably as much as you'd like, because again, this is not there's really not a great spot to be able to broadcast from here at Greenheck Turner for softball, because this is not normally a softball field. It's an infield, indoor facility. You can play soccer. You can do some football practice here. You can do a lot of different things, including baseball and softball. But in terms of the angles and the sight lines, it can be a little bit difficult here to have the great sight lines here for a camera. So again, I'm glad you're with us. Try to almost do more of a radio broadcast here today, because it's really, I think, difficult for a lot to be seen through our video. But again, when we get back into action out of doors and at the normal facilities for high school baseball and softball, I think it will be a much better experience for you as a viewer as well as a listener. But now, here comes a big situation. First and third, and nobody out. There's a good fastball. Pick up at the third and out at third! Oh, what a play made by Kalmus. Jaden Kalmus fired it right to Defner at the bag, who tags out Johnson for out number one. Burt did advance from first to second, but boy, that was a perfect throw by Jaden Kalmus to get out number one. I mean, Taylor Defner got to the bag and was just able to grab it and just wait for the runner to tag herself out. No balls and one strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner for strike two called. Molly Jacquette is the hitter, left-handed batter. Hands up high near the left ear hole. Here's the pitch. Just missing off the outside corner. Oh, boy, that was a close pitch from Butler. She'll take a stroll behind the pitcher's rubber. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on second, 1 out for Neenah. Top of the 6th inning. 3-2 is the lead for Wausau West. I apologize. I forgot to put the scoreboard back up on the screen. But it is 3-2 West, top of the 6th inning. And pitch misses for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I hope you bear with me, trying to get all the feel for this new system. Now the 2-2. There's a pop heading this way. Thought for a moment it's going to clear over the top of this screen right in front of me. Deflected and stayed in the playing field. It's a foul ball. My first thought is, holy cow, that's coming right at my camera. I just paid some money for that thing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Misses up high, bounces off the mid of Jaden Kalmus to the backstop, and advancing 60 feet to third base is Haley Burt. Actually, no, that's not Haley Burt, that's Olivia Rasmussen. So again, a runner on third for the Rockets as they try to extend a 1-run lead. Warriors trail 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Butler in the payoff pitch. There's a swing and a fall back. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Runner waits on third. Stare in from the senior. Here's the pitch. Another foul ball. Just getting the head of the bat on it. It was a tad tardy, but just protecting the plate was Jacquette. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Strikeout would be huge right here for the Wausau West right-hander. Jacquette has walked and struck out. Here's the pitch. There's a high pop-up. Did that hit the ceiling? I think it did, because making the grab was Jaden Elke. It will be an out. I think even if she had not made the grab, I think ultimately that would have been considered an out. But she was able to actually play the carom and still make the grab. And that is a huge second out. And a chance again for the Warriors and Caitlin Butler to get out of a major jam. Carly Baltus, the right fielder, will step in. 2 outs, runner on third. Butler to the plate. There's a ground ball, foul first base side. Top of the 6th. It's been a good one here to start off our 2026 high school spring sports schedule on Wausau Sports, Wausau Area Sports, I should say, and the YouTube channel. Neenah 3, Wausau West 2. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball right back to the pitcher, and a flip to first. Butler to Nora Hintz. 1-3 on the putout, and again, it happened in the 3rd. It happened in the 4th. It happened in the 5th. It happens in the 6th. Neenah does not score and strands a runner at third base. No runs, 2 hits, no Warrior errors, and 1 runner left on base. End of 5.5. It is Neenah 3, Wausau West 2. We're going to keep it right here. A reminder that coming up after this one, we'll take a very short break, but then we'll be back with our second game as Wausau West will take on Pulaski. Again, scheduled for 5 o'clock, but depends on the length of this one. And heck, right now we are potentially looking at extra innings if the Warriors can push another run across. But again, 5 o'clock, Wausau West and Pulaski on our YouTube channel, Wausau Area Sports. Wausau East has come back and taken the lead over Antigo 6-5. That game is in the 5th inning over on the other diamond here at the Greenheck Turner Community Center. I'm not sure what's going on here. There's nobody on the field. Neenah, their coach, is going over talking to the home plate umpire, but none of the Neenah players have gone out onto the field yet. Warriors looking like they're set to bat, but at this point we're just waiting, and now here come the Rockets. I'll try to take a look here and pass along any of the changes. Nope, Tatum West still at second base. We have at third base. Actually, it does look like at third base we do have a change as Olivia Rasmussen will take over at third. I should say Kylie Matthew still in the circle, but I think maybe the big change here is at third base with Rasmussen taking over. She had been playing in left field up to this point, but we only see the infield. We have nobody in the outfield yet. This is, again, not really sure why the delay, but looks like we are ready to go for the Warriors of the 6th inning. It will be the middle of the order, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Taylor Defner, Jaden Kalmus, and Taylor Bauer up against Kylie Matthew with a 3-2 lead for Neenah. Taylor Defner has popped up to the second baseman and flown out to center field. Right-handed batter, number 3 hitter in the Wausau West order. Here's the pitch. Fastball at the knees, inside corner for strike 1 called. It's been a really well-played game. Again, one of the things that I was frankly expecting here was not a well-played game. There's a pop-up on the right field side. Foul territory, and not able to get there is the first baseman, Kaylee Johnson. Actually, that was Tatum West, who almost got to it from her second base position. And it's now 0-2. So Matthew jumping ahead here of Taylor Defner. Here's the pitch. Swing, a full tip held onto, and that is strike 3. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 1 out for the Warriors in the bottom of the 6th inning. That will bring up Jaden Kalmus. Right-handed batter. Had a single, scored a run her last time up. She is 1 for 2. There's a swing and a fly ball, and a diving grab made in center field. Coming in hard was Noah Piter. Takes away perhaps extra bases from Jaden Kalmus in out number 2. Wow, that was another well-hit ball off the bat of Kalmus. And 2 up and 2 down now for the Warriors. And now due up is Taylor Bauer for Wausau West. But we're still waiting for a hitter, and I think it may be a pinch hitter here for the Warriors. Brooklyn Freiberg, who has been playing as a flex player in left field, getting her first opportunity. And there's a swing on the first pitch, a little pop towards first base. It will be grabbed right there by Kaylee Johnson in a very quick inning. Just 5 pitches and 3 outs as the Warriors go down in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. End of 6. We are heading to the 7th. It is Neenah 3, Wausau West 2. This is Warrior Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
West High School Sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School Sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department.
Top of the 7th inning here from D.C. Everson and Green Heck Turner Community Center. Wausau West trailing Neenah by a score of 3-2. It will be the top of the order for the Rockets, as still out there is Caitlin Butler. She has done a terrific job in the circle here for Wausau West. And the first pitch just misses, maybe a tad up for ball 1. But it's been a very good start here in the circle for Butler. And talking to the coach before the game, I think she expects that from all of her pitchers. There's a ground ball. Good grab by Elke. Throw across in time. Again to her right was Jaden Elke on a tough short hop on this artificial turf. Made the clean pick, and again a good hard throw across right on target to Hintz. 6-3 on the putout for out number 1. Boy, we've seen a couple of really good plays from Jaden Elke on the left-hand side of the infield for the Warriors here today. And there's a swing on the first pitch again. Right field side going over and in foul territory, and running out of room was Taylor Murkowski. Warriors would love to be able to get a quick inning here and then come back with their final opportunity down by just 1. Well, no balls and 1 strike on Kylie Matthew. Here's the pitch. Fastball drops a little bit low. Evens things up at 1-1. Good rhythm here in the circle for Caitlin Butler. She's ready, has the target. Here's the pitch. Drops a little bit low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Three to 2. Again, it's not been easy to get out of some of these innings, but boy, when the chips have been down, Butler's been able to strand runners at third. There is a good fastball in at the belt for a called strike 2. Mentioned earlier, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth innings, Neenah has stranded runners on third after scoring 2 in the first and 1 in the second. Nothing since then off of Caitlin Butler. Here's the 2-2. Low and inside. Count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Libby Yankee, the shortstop and number 3 hitter, waits on deck for Neenah. Here's the pitch. There's a roller third base side that will go foul. 3-2. Talking to the coach, we'll see Nora Hintz in the circle for the Warriors in the second game against Pulaski coming up at 5 o'clock. Here's Butler's wind and pitch. Change of pace, and it ends up low and outside. Tried to pull the string, fool the hitter Matthew on that 3-2, but could not get it into the zone, and that will be a 1-out walk. So now Libby Yankee, she hit into a fielder's choice and scored a run in the first, singled in the third, walked in the fifth. Taking her time for a moment is Butler. Now she's ready. Has the target from Jaden Kalmus. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball deep into left field over the head of Freiberg to the fence. Heading to third and stopping right there will be Matthew. So a ringing double to deep left field for Libby Yankee. Now again, a big jam here for Caitlin Butler, and now she will be meeting with the entirety of her infield as they strategize here what to do here with confab will come to an end. As stepping in is Natalie Coffey. Here's the pitch. There's a high pop-up, short center field, and making the grab coming over from right is Murkowski, and the runners will be holding. I lost it for a moment. I'm shocked it did not go off the ceiling, to be honest with you, and may well have deflected again because I thought that was heading towards center and Claire Schultz, and ending up in right center grabbing it was Taylor Murkowski, but another big pitch and a big out for Caitlin Butler. And a chance again to strand a runner on third base as coming to the plate is Nora Piter. Piter had an RBI single back in the first. And there's a hard liner into right field for a base hit. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in, and it's now 5-3. I should say 5-2. Neenah with the lead. Just inside the line down the right field side. A line drive off the bat of Piter, and that is a huge 2-out, 2 RBI knock for Neenah. It gives them a little bit of breathing room. 3 RBIs now for Piter. Kaylee Johnson due up next. Here's the pitch, taken for a strike. Runner on the move, throw to second, and nobody at the bag for the Warriors. And staying at second base will be Nora Piter. So another runner in scoring position now for the Rockets. Boy, that was a huge hit. 3-2 going to the bottom of the 7th. You feel like, boy, the Warriors would have that great opportunity. Now it's going to be a little bit steeper of a hill to climb. There's a fly ball, right field side. Murkowski is under it, and Taylor Murkowski will grab it for out number 3. But Neenah does score twice in the top of the 7th inning. 2 runs on 2 base hits. There were no Warrior errors, and 1 runner left on base. Last chance for Wausau West, heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is Neenah 5, Wausau West 2. This is Wausau West High School Softball on the YouTube channel of Wausau Area Sports. We're going to keep it right here and remind you about the other game going on here And Wausau East has come from behind, and they lead over Antigo by a score of 7-5, as that game is in the 6th inning. So again, just looking at the schedule, I said it, we have Wausau West against Pulaski coming up right here at 5 o'clock. You can again see it right here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. We have DC Everest playing their first game against Antigo at 5 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, Wausau East will take on Pulaski, and Eau Claire North against De Pere. So those are games still to come here tonight. Tomorrow, action begins at 10 a.m. DC Everest against Neenah. At 12 noon, Baraboo against DC Everest and De Pere against Marshfield. And at 2 p.m., Merrill takes on Baraboo. But now the Warriors, one more chance here in the Brianne Bushong, the freshman second baseman, will step in. Here's the pitch. Fastball drops down low for ball one. Brianne, third in the 4th. She has looked very good in the right-handed batter's box. Again, freshman second baseman. And there's another good cut fly ball, right field towards the line, making the call and making the grab is Carly Baltus for out number 1. Next for the Warriors. She is grounded out and popped up. Right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Misses up and out of the zone for ball 1. Both pitchers have done a nice job here today. Of course, for Wausau West, Caitlin Butler, 7 really good innings. And now Kylie Matthew trying to finish it off for the Rockets. And there is a hard hit ball pulled down the third base side and foul off the bat of Taylor Murkowski. Neenah scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second to lead 3-0. The Warriors scored once in the bottom of the second to make it 3-1. Warriors made it 3-2 with the run in the bottom of the 4th, and then 2 in the top of the 7th for Neenah. Change of pace, hangs a little bit up, and the count goes to 2-1. Again, looking in is Kylie Matthew. Here's the rock and the pitch. Change of pace, missing on the release point is the right-hander, and the count goes to 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Another good cut by Murkowski, but ahead of it and fouls it off the screen on the third base side, and the count goes to 2-2. Sun has popped up, as you can probably see if you're looking on the camera there towards the first base side. Big windows on that end of the building. Molly Jacquet is setting the target. Here's the pitch. Misses up high, and that was actually a 3-2 pitch. And a good at-bat for Taylor Murkowski earns the base on balls. Warriors need one more base runner to bring that potential tying run to the plate. Let's see who's going to be in the box here this time for Wausau West. As Coach Jamie Hughes going down the third base side to talk, and it looks like Jenna Gravine, who had hit for Butler in the 5th inning, will get another AB here in the 7th. So right-handed hitter, Jenna Gravine, who is a junior. Runner on first. Kylie Matthew to the plate. There is a pitch, gets away to the backstop, and that will allow an advancement of 60 feet to second base for Taylor Murkowski. So a runner in scoring position. Boy, oh boy, now you think back, if you got that third out, that tying runner would have been in scoring position with 1 out. But still, chance here for the Warriors. 1 ball and no strikes on Gravine. There's a bunt, it's a good one. Picked up by the pitcher, Matthews fires the first, bobbled and safe. Now rounding third, heading home is Murkowski. Throw is late, and it's 5-3. Good bunt by Gravine, but it was a good play made by Matthew. She got to it, barehanded, threw it the first. It would have been in time, but Johnson bobbled it and dropped it. So the Warriors now have the potential tying run at the plate. Runner on first, one out, and now we're going to get a meeting at the pitcher's circle with Coach Adam Heblowitz for the Neenah Rockets. Gonna have to call that an error on the first baseman unofficially. I'm not the official scorer, but that's a ball that needed to be caught. But Warriors will take it at this point. As Wausau West again, it's really been, I think, as I said earlier, a solid game, and that's not a guarantee when you don't have any opportunity to play outside because of the weather. And I think both teams, for the most part, have been very good. As it will be Brooklyn Kalmus, the freshman. She is going to hit for Nora Hintz in the number 9 hole. So a great opportunity here for freshman Brooklyn Kalmus. Right-handed batter, runner on first, one out, bottom of the 7th inning, and a 5-3 game. Runner on the move, pitch taken, throw to second, safe. Sliding in rather awkwardly was Gravine. It's a good thing that bag didn't kind of stay in its spot. It kind of slid forward about a foot because that was a rather late slide, but A-OK is Jenna Gravine, and it's no balls and 1 strike on Brooklyn Kalmus. Here's the pitch, big cut by the right-handed hitter, but fouls it back. Number 9 hole, so back to the top of the order, and Claire Schultz next. So an opportunity here for the Warriors. Here's the pitch. Oh, getting the call on a pitch that looked like it may have been a tad in and low, but nevertheless, the right arm goes up and down looking is Brooklyn Kalmus. Boy, oh boy, that's a tough call, but 2 outs now for the Warriors. Runner on second for the top of the order, and Claire Schultz. Last chance here for Wausau West. 5-3 Neenah, bottom of the 7th inning. Rising fastball misses up and out of the strike zone for ball 1. Kylie Matthews ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a good fastball. A tad late on the cut was Claire Schultz, and the count evens up at 1-1. One pitch. Swing and a miss, and now the Warriors down to their final strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Matthews ready. Here's the pitch. Change of pace, ground ball right back to the pitcher. Grabbed on a hop, flipped the first in time, and that will do it. The Warriors do score a run. No base hits. There was an error, and a runner left on base here in the 7th inning. So the Warriors give it a great battle against the number 10 ranked team in Division 1. Come up short by a score of 5-3. We're going to take a timeout and come back with our post game. Recap this one here from DC Everest. 5-3, Neenah over Wausau School Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Not too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks to the
And Chad Holmes back again here at DC Everest in the Greenheck Turner Family Arena at Greenheck Turner Community Center, where in the first game of the 2026 season, the Wausau West softball team gave it a good battle against 10th-ranked Neenah, but in the end, it was Neenah 5, Wausau West 3. Again, recapping what happened in this one, Neenah got on the board first with 2 runs in the first inning. They had an RBI single by Nora Piter and also an RBI ground ball by Kaylee Johnson to lead 2-0. Then they would add a run on an RBI double by Kylie Matthew in the second to lead 3-0. But then the Warriors got one back in the bottom of the second inning as Brianne Bushong had an RBI single that made it 3-1. The Warriors would then get an RBI single by Taylor Bauer in the fourth inning. That would cut the deficit to 3-2. It would stay that way until the top of the seventh inning with 2 outs and runners on second and third. A 2 RBI single by Nora Piter would give a little bit of insurance for the Rockets, give them a 5-2 lead, and then they were able to add. I should say they needed that little bit of a cushion because the Warriors did score a run in the bottom of the seventh inning on an error. To get anything more in the bottom of the seventh, and in the end, Neenah 5, Wausau West 3. Winning pitcher for the Neenah Rockets, Kylie Matthew, went the distance. 7 innings pitch was a very as well in the circle for Wausau West starting pitcher Caitlin Butler. Boy, she was really good in lots of tough situations, stranding those runners on third. 4 consecutive innings kept her team very much in the game. But a complete game, 5-3 loss, though, for Caitlin Butler. Well, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to have to go to our second stream. We're going to have a separate stream for our next game as Wausau West will take on Pulaski starting at 5 o'clock. So we'll be back at 5 o'clock and look for our Wausau West softball stream versus Pulaski, because this stream will be coming to an end. We'll be starting a new one coming up in about 12 minutes or so. But I am Chad Holmes here from DC Everest, where the Wausau West Warriors fall to Neenah in high school softball by a score of 5-3. Hopefully you can join us for our second broadcast in just a few minutes here on Wausau Area Sports and the YouTube channel. And thanks to our sponsors, the Cloverville Union. We finance getting the job done. Great rate financing for ATVs, utility tractors, and the plows you need to get those winter jobs done. Visit CCU's new branch in Mosinee at the Bayman Professional Building, West Athletic Department, for their support of our broadcast as well. Check out upcoming Wausau West athletic events at WisconsinValleyConference.com. Back in about 10 minutes with more Wausau West Warrior softball here on 98.9, here on